All right, today we are going to talk about someone who is interested in a whole life insurance policy. They're primarily interested in the cash value piece, and they're looking to move a large lump sum into the policy. However, they asked the question, how big of a policy should I get? Really what they want to see is what does it look like if we show them a policy that is maximized for cash value, but then they make it bigger. So it's got a bigger death benefit. They could put more money in if they want to, but they don't add anything extra. Meaning, I go with a policy bigger than what you would recommend, Steve. Like, what happens if I do that? The response is, you can do it, but it will cost you some cash value performance. How much is it going to cost me? Let's look at exactly that. So, case details here. We've got a 55-year-old individual. She does very well, so 55-year-old female. Interested in life insurance for the cash value, safe place to put money. She can access the cash value like a line of credit while it continues to compound, and the tax advantages are very appealing, meaning if I do it right, I can access it tax-free. So what she wants to do at her age, we looked at a variety of different funding scenarios. You've got this lump sum going into a policy. She's most comfortable with moving 20% of that $1 million into a policy per year. 20% times 5 gives you 100%. That's $200K per year. So that's how much we're going to move into the policy. So here's what we'll look at. Option A, let's put this in, you like purple. Option A, let's do it over here. Maximized. What this means is we're going to pay $200K per year, and that $200K is going to have the minimum insurance premium. So I talk about this all the time. I'm not going to go into all of the details. Your minimum will be $20,000. The maximum we can design this policy with is 10 times what the minimum is. So 10 times $20,000 is $200,000. So this is a policy that will be designed to really handle a maximum payment of $200K per year. If we put any more in, we'll trigger what's called a MEC, a MEC, that will result in a taxable event. So the maximum is $200,000. Option B, we'll look at a policy that's not maximized. Not maximized. It'll be close to it, but they want to see what it looks like if they build in some room. So here, this policy will have a minimum of $25,000, which means your maximum would be what? The maximum would be $250,000. However, we are not going to pay $250,000. No. We are still going to pay $200,000. So both options A and B are both going to show $200K per year. A is going to maximize every penny of that $200,000, whereas B is not going to be optimal. I'm still going to pay $200,000 in, but I'll have a slightly higher premium and a higher max dollar payment too that I can make. And why I would do this, like why people are interested in this, is because after you start a policy, if I have more money and I like my life insurance policy and I want to put more money into the policy, well, I can do that if I've bought the room, if you want to call it that. I've got more mech space, I've got a minimum that can handle it. So now I can add more money into an existing policy. And why people like that is because when you look at a life insurance policy, the worst part about it, no matter how well it's designed, is always the first year. Because you're going to see negative cash value. Simply meaning if you put $1 in, your cash value in the first year might be 90 cents, meaning you take a 10% hit. People don't like to see a hit on their money. So if I get a bigger policy from the get-go, anticipating that I'm going to have more money, or I might want to pay more money into the product, I'm going to prevent the need to have to go through that negative hit again. Does that make sense? It can make sense from a design standpoint. It depends if we actually put more money in. Let's see what it looks like. How you can tell here is by really seeing what's the cash value difference. I'm going to look at A and B side by side so I can see the actual cost here. I know this can be complex, but I promise it will help you refine the decision-making process if you're trying to figure out how much do I want to put into the policy or what's going to be my maximum on any given year. This is typically what we show people to help them with that. So here we go. First, we've got a policy that's going to do what? Maximize the $200K per year. Annual outlay, $200,000 per year. Minimum premium, 10% of that. First year cash value, just about 90%. You take $200,000, 90% of that equals $180,000. If you have a calculator, you can do that quick. But here you're at 178 and change. So you're just about 90% in the first year. And the break-even point is just about year 4. Because you've paid in 200 times 4 years. You've got 798, almost 799. You've paid in 800, like you're just about there. Year 5, you're positive. Death benefit, $2.3 million. That gives you a MEC limit, which is that taxable limit, of just about $200,000. I think it was $201,000 in this example. This is optimized to handle $200K per year. And if this number, you're looking at it and you're going, that's too big, you can chop a 0 off. You can even make it 10,000 or 5K per year. The same principles apply as long as we follow the same pattern here as far as that 10% minimum and such. But here it's maximized. Let's look at the comparison. So, what do you see here? This is the same. What I like to say here is for the person getting the policy, it's the same out of pocket. It's the same insurance company, it's the same product. The only difference is we have a higher premium here. You've got a higher death benefit too. Remember that MEC limit we talked about? This one was a 200K MEC limit. Over here, your MEC limit is 250,000. So you're paying the same 200, but you've got a higher premium, higher death benefit initially. What's the difference? Well, if you look at the 5th year, it's a little bit more than 10 grand, which I don't think is very much considering she's put in $1 million here. But here's an easier way to do it. We can look at things side by side. Cash value difference. This shows how much less you have in cash value with the option with the higher base premium compared to the option on the left with the lower base premium. So as time passes, it's not a huge number considering she pumped in $1 million, but it's a number that you do notice. Like it gets over $30,000 when she's in her 70s. I mean, that's a cost of a car for a lot of people, depending on what kind of car you're getting, of course. I like cars, that's why I mentioned that. But there is a noticeable difference there. So here's what I would say with this. I would say, don't do this if you think there's a low chance you're going to ever pay more than $200,000 in. If you think that is truly going to be your maximum, $200K per year, because that is the number she's most comfortable with, if $200K is truly the max, I would do that. And if you do end up paying more money into the policy or say, hey, I want to be able to pay more in, there's 2 things you could do. 1, you could start a new policy then, or 2, you can keep adding money here. We just wait a little bit before we add more because we can fund it for longer than 5 years. So that's also an option. Of course, it depends if she wants to wait. But I wouldn't do the option on the right if she's going to pay a maximum of $200K per year. I would do it if during our conversations, she explicitly expresses that there's a good chance I'm going to want to do more than $200K per year. I've got some deals cooking, and I think I could start out with $250K per year. I just wanted to see conservatively $200K per year. I'm like, okay, thank you so much for letting me know. In that case, I might recommend the middle option because on the right, here's the exact same policy, just paying $250 per year. Cash value is higher. Break-even point is just about year 4. And we actually structured this where during the first 7 years, the first 5 years when we're funding it, there's no difference in the death benefit. It's because we've got a term rider that's decreasing as the whole life death benefit is increasing. I would check out our video that goes through the 1-year term rider, a fantastic rider to maximize cash value, which is used by a lot of corporations. Okay, so that's option B. A lot of numbers here. Option B, I like a lot. Again, if I think I might want to be able to fund more than $200K per year, because now I can do that with an existing policy. I also can see here that if I don't add extra funds, this is how much option B costs me if I never get more money into it. Looking at these numbers, if 1 year she gets another 10 or 20 grand into it, it's going to make sense where she'll have more cash value from a cash value difference standpoint. Like she'll see the numbers working out for her. With all of that said, I do hope that this was enjoyable. I love this kind of topic where we look at lump sums going in and how to maximize them. And if someone's considering paying more in, we can just talk through those different options and show you how to maximize the cash value. If it was helpful, please let us know. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, or thoughts below. And as always, I do hope this helps. Thank you so much.